The Galactic Federation, an alliance as ancient as the stars, had conquered countless systems, its influence spreading across galaxies. Made up of various advanced civilizations, it boasted a fleet of terrifying might, technology that could annihilate entire worlds, and armies that left no room for defiance. The Federation's core doctrine was clear: submit, integrate, or perish. Many worlds, seeing the raw power the Federation commanded, had chosen submission. They paid tributes, adopted Federation laws, and allowed their cultures to be assimilated or erased altogether. With each conquest, the Federation grew more arrogant. Their leaders, presiding over empires that had never faced a serious threat, viewed themselves as the undisputed rulers of the universe. They dismissed the concept of rebellion as laughable, confident that no civilization could challenge them. Their war machines were sophisticated, armed with the best that science could devise. Yet, hidden within this confidence was a blind spot, a belief that no primitive world could ever defy them and survive. Then came Earth. When the Federation scouts first stumbled upon Earth, they saw a young species whose technological evolution had only recently breached the boundaries of their own atmosphere. The Federation, considering Earth's history of conflicts and innovation, deemed them a fascinating but predictable species, like so many others they had conquered before. Earth, they assumed, would either fall into line or be wiped out in short order. Contact was established through a diplomatic envoy, offering Earth a choice: join the Federation as a subservient member, contributing resources and knowledge to the greater cause, or suffer total obliteration. The envoy's tone left no room for discussion. The message was backed by the looming promise of annihilation, the same threat that had bent many planets before them. Yet Earth responded differently. Its leaders didn't bow, nor did they accept the terms as inevitable. Instead, Earth's response was simple, calm, and filled with an unusual resolve. Earth's message to the Federation was this: we are sovereign, and we intend to remain so. We have no quarrel with your Federation, but we will not bow to threats. Any hostile action will be met with the consequences of your own making. The Federation dismissed this as the desperate bark of a species unaware of its place. The idea that Earth, a single lone planet, would resist a galactic empire bordered on comical to them. The leaders laughed and shared stories about Earth's amusing attempt at defiance. What could Earth, a world so recently acquainted with space travel, possibly do against their advanced fleets? Other species within the Federation took note, though. A few murmured about Earth's defiance, wondering if this tiny planet might be capable of more than it seemed. Some saw Earth as an inspiration, a spark of rebellion that hadn't been seen in eons. Yet even they doubted Earth's real ability to resist. The Federation's dominance was absolute, or so everyone believed. But Earth was not idle. Despite the skepticism, its leaders had anticipated the Federation's reaction and prepared accordingly. In secrecy, humanity had poured resources into its defense, developing experimental technologies and crafting weapons with a single purpose: to defend itself from a vastly more powerful invader. Military projects that had once been shelved due to ethical concerns or practical limitations were given a new focus, evolving quickly under the pressure of an impending war. Earth's brightest minds had unified to protect their home. They formed secret alliances, reaching out to the few rebel factions scattered within Federation space who had survived by living on the fringes. Through a covert network of information, they gathered intelligence on Federation tactics, studying every pattern and every weakness they could find. And while Earth's technology seemed primitive, there were projects within Earth's labs that not even its own citizens knew about. These projects pushed the boundaries of conventional science, taking risks other civilizations would consider too dangerous. As time passed, whispers about Earth's defiance grew, and the Federation found itself the subject of unusual attention. Still, Federation command felt no urgency. They assumed that Earth's resistance, if any, would be short-lived. Earth's warnings meant nothing to them. Mere words from a species too naive to know its own limitations. But to Earth, every day was spent preparing. Engineers worked tirelessly on orbital defense systems, hidden cloaking devices, and weapons capable of disabling enemy tech in unconventional ways. Soldiers trained not only with conventional weaponry, but with strategies designed specifically to outwit an overwhelming enemy force. And though Earth's leadership warned its citizens only of a distant threat, many sensed that something significant was looming. The Federation Council gathered in its grand chamber, vast and imposing, to decide Earth's fate. Earth's defiance had become a thorn in the Federation's side, an insult that couldn't go unpunished. The council members, representatives of the oldest and most powerful species, took their seats, discussing how to respond to the insolent upstarts. High-ranking generals argued that allowing such defiance would encourage other systems to question Federation authority. One general proposed a swift and brutal response, warning that a spectacle was needed to remind everyone of the Federation's supremacy. The council voted unanimously. They would send a colossal fleet, the largest assembled in generations, with orders to crush Earth's defenses swiftly and leave a lasting mark on its defiance. With the decision made, the Federation put its plan into motion. Vast fleets mobilized across multiple star systems, powerful ships armed with technology capable of obliterating whole planets. The Federation saw this as a quick, punitive mission, a necessary display of power. In their arrogance, they couldn't imagine a scenario in which Earth would pose a genuine threat. This was a display of dominance, not a real battle. Meanwhile, Earth's leaders held an emergency meeting. They understood the overwhelming force the Federation was sending. But despite the odds, they refused to back down. Earth's leaders knew this might be their last chance to avert a bloodbath. In a final plea, they sent one more message to the Federation, requesting peace talks and appealing to the morality of avoiding unnecessary destruction. The message was brief but firm, expressing a desire for peace without submission. They reiterated their stance on sovereignty, asking the Federation to reconsider its actions. The Federation Command received Earth's message and broadcast it to the fleet en route. The message was twisted, edited to sound desperate and pleading, and presented as the last whimper of a primitive planet. The broadcast painted Earth as naive, and the Federation commanders mocked its leaders for their refusal to accept the inevitable. They laughed, confident that Earth's final message was nothing more than hollow bravado. On Earth, preparations intensified. Governments across the globe put aside their differences, uniting under the singular goal of survival. Factories switched from civilian production to manufacturing weapons, creating defenses that would be humanity's last line. Advanced weaponry, developed in secrecy, was rapidly completed and deployed. Orbital defenses were fortified, and Earth's leaders pushed their most experimental technologies to the front lines, desperate for any edge. The people of Earth braced themselves. News networks advised citizens to prepare for potential evacuations, and while fear was present, there was a determination as well. Stories of resistance from the past, of wars fought against superior forces, were shared to rally morale. Families said their goodbyes, hoping their loved ones would survive the unknown that awaited them. The atmosphere was tense, but there was unity and strength in the collective resolve. Earth had not been idle in gathering allies. Through covert channels, they had reached out to rogue factions within the Federation, minor species, often overlooked and disrespected, who harbored resentment toward the ruling council. These factions saw Earth as a symbol of defiance, and, while they couldn't openly ally with Earth, shared intelligence and information about the Federation's fleet movements and vulnerabilities. Earth's operatives, skilled in espionage, funneled this information back to Earth, helping them prepare. Unknown to most citizens, Earth had been developing technologies that hadn't been tested publicly. A few governments were aware of mysterious projects involving energy manipulation and experimental weaponry, capable of disrupting enemy systems. The full potential of these technologies was uncertain, but they were now Earth's last hope against the approaching armada. As the Federation fleet drew nearer, Earth finalized its preparations. The Federation fleet arrived in Earth's solar system with a presence that blotted out the stars. Thousands of warships assembled in formation, their engines roaring, filling the void with a dark, metallic cloud stretching across space. The fleet was an awe-inspiring show of force. Sleek battleships bristling with weapons, carriers housing legions of fighters, and destroyers equipped with enough firepower to obliterate entire planets. Each ship was reinforced with the most advanced shielding and weaponry the galaxy had ever seen. This was a fleet engineered to overwhelm any opposition through sheer size and destructive capability. On board, the alien soldiers prepared for what they thought would be an easy victory. Many of them joked about Earth, calling it a primitive rock and laughing at the thought of these humans standing a chance. Federation commanders openly mocked the concept of human resistance, dismissing it as a fool's errand. They had seen worlds crumble before far smaller fleets, so what hope did a single, undeveloped planet have? There was no doubt in their minds that this would be a quick and brutal campaign, a brief exercise in domination, before they moved on to other conquests. But as the fleet began its advance, Earth's defenses came to life. Coordinated from hidden stations on Earth's moon, in secret bunkers on Mars, and in cloaked orbital platforms, Earth's forces initiated a tactical response that immediately deviated from any combat approach the Federation had ever encountered. Small, agile ships appeared from behind asteroids and orbital debris, striking swiftly before vanishing into the darkness. Earth ships, smaller and far less numerous than the Federation's, operated with surgical precision, using hit-and-run tactics that disrupted the fleet's tight formation. These first maneuvers caught the Federation troops by surprise. Their ships were built for frontal assaults, not the quick, unpredictable strikes Earth's forces were employing. The initial resistance was far stronger than the Federation had anticipated, causing a ripple of surprise through their ranks. Earth's smaller ships struck with pinpoint accuracy, targeting weapon systems, engines, and shield generators. Federation ships, designed to withstand massive firepower, struggled to respond to these smaller, more elusive threats. Alien commanders began issuing frantic orders to close ranks and tighten defenses, but Earth's guerrilla-style tactics continued to disrupt their formations. Then, Earth unveiled its first set of surprises. Cloaked ships, previously invisible to all detection, decloaked within the Federation's ranks and unleashed volleys of weaponry at close range before vanishing again. Federation ships that had relied on extensive scanning and radar tech were thrown into chaos, unable to track or retaliate effectively. As Earth's cloaked ships flitted in and out, the Federation fleet found itself surrounded by a ghostly enemy, one they could not anticipate or locate. Moments later, electromagnetic pulses rippled through the Federation fleet, frying systems and causing malfunctions across dozens of ships. Lights flickered, targeting systems failed, and communication lines went silent. Federation pilots struggled to regain control of their craft, their cockpits filled with blaring alarms and error messages. Alien engineers frantically worked to reset systems, but Earth's EMP pulses continued, destabilizing ship after ship. Weapons misfired, engines stalled, and entire squadrons drifted powerless in space. Confusion spread among the Federation ranks. Alien soldiers, once brimming with confidence, now found themselves surrounded by malfunctioning equipment and invisible attackers. Their initial arrogance faded, replaced by an uneasy realization that Earth had defenses far beyond what they had anticipated. Rumors of these primitive humans possessing unexpected technologies began to circulate, sowing doubt and fear. The fleet, once a symbol of invincibility, began to fracture under the stress of Earth's relentless, unpredictable tactics. High-ranking Federation officers, however, dismissed these early setbacks. They assured their troops that Earth's tricks were merely minor inconveniences. The Federation's numbers and firepower, they claimed, would soon overwhelm the resistance. Orders were issued to press forward, to focus fire on Earth's planetary defenses, and to ignore the nuisances surrounding them. But as they moved to advance, more of Earth's hidden technologies emerged. Earth's forces unleashed waves of precision drones that swarmed through the Federation's ships, targeting critical systems with surgical accuracy. These drones were small, agile, and armed with advanced weaponry designed to pierce even the most sophisticated defenses. They cut through shields, disabling ship engines and weapons, leaving Federation vessels dead in space. Federation officers who had initially scoffed at Earth's resistance began to feel a creeping sense of dread. Reports of system failures, missing ships, and dead zones within their formations piled up, creating a sense of instability. Morale among the Federation soldiers continued to fall as the battle dragged on. They watched ship after ship fall to Earth's elusive tactics, realizing they were dealing with an enemy who had anticipated their every move. The soldiers, once so certain of a swift victory, now questioned their leader's assumptions. Some wondered if they'd been sent into a trap, their hubris blinding them to the possibility that Earth was far from defenseless. Panic began to replace confidence, a ripple effect that spread across the fleet as alien soldiers grew unsure of their ability to win. Yet despite the mounting losses, Federation command refused to accept the reality before them. The high-ranking officers ignored the cries for retreat or regrouping, convinced that their superior numbers and technology would eventually crush the human resistance. They ordered their troops to keep advancing, refusing to believe that a single planet could challenge the might of the Federation. The Federation fleet continued its assault, pushing through the chaos, believing that sheer numbers would eventually break Earth's defenses. But Earth was prepared for this exact moment. Hidden deep within underground bunkers and fortified stations, Earth's leaders gave the order to activate a weapon that had been kept secret even from most of Earth's defenders. Project Aegis, a revolutionary defense system that combined advanced AI, gravitational manipulation, and energy distortion. As the Federation ships advanced, a surge of energy radiated from Earth's surface. The atmosphere vibrated as powerful gravitational fields arced out into space, gripping Federation ships in invisible hands. Massive vessels that had once moved with ease now felt the crushing pressure of gravity fields pulling at their hulls. These fields distorted space, wrenching ships off course, and twisting them in ways that shattered their structural integrity. Some ships were simply torn apart, while others spun wildly, helpless against the unknown force. The Federation fleet was instantly thrown into disarray as their navigational systems registered conflicting readings and overloaded with errors. Federation commanders, trained to rely on advanced tech for battlefield superiority, found themselves struggling to comprehend the forces arrayed against them. The gravitational fields were only the beginning. Earth's defense systems deployed bursts of concentrated energy pulses that sliced through ships' shields, short-circuiting even their most resilient defenses. Ships that had shrugged off nuclear bombardments crumbled under the impact of Earth's new weaponry, unable to resist the precision and overwhelming force Earth had unleashed. For the soldiers aboard the Federation ships, panic spread as they witnessed the destruction firsthand. The once mighty vessels around them were being torn apart, one after another. Communications grew frantic, desperate voices filling the airwaves as captains and commanders attempted to regroup. But Earth's attacks were too precise, each strike coordinated with machine-like precision. The Federation forces could only watch in horror as their ships were dismantled piece by piece, each blow targeting a critical system or structure. Amidst the Federation's disarray, Earth's forces launched a coordinated counterattack, led by a unified fleet of cloaked ships and unmanned drones directed by Earth's newly unleashed AI system. Using data gathered from intelligence and battlefield scans, Earth's fleet predicted every Federation move, countering each advance with calculated strikes that left no room for recovery. alien captains, realizing they faced an enemy with an almost preternatural understanding of the battlefield, struggled to rally their forces. But every formation they tried, every tactic they implemented, was countered by Earth's precision attacks. The fleet began to break apart, fractured into isolated groups that Earth's forces targeted one by one. In every corner of the battlefield, Federation ships faced relentless assaults. Earth's cloaked vessels reappeared at opportune moments, launching volleys before disappearing into the darkness, while AI-directed drones swarmed in coordinated waves, breaching defenses and immobilizing Federation ships. The Federation soldiers had no counter to Earth's technological edge. Even their strongest ships couldn't withstand the combination of gravity fields, energy pulses, and precise AI strikes that Earth unleashed in waves. They were unprepared, caught in a nightmare of Earth's making, and utterly outmatched. News of the Federation's defeat at Earth spread rapidly, reaching distant planets and Federation-controlled systems. The Federation's impenetrable facade had cracked, and the galaxy took notice. Rumors circulated among the oppressed species and minor factions who had long chafed under Federation rule. If a single planet could withstand the Federation's most powerful fleet, then perhaps the Federation wasn't as invincible as it seemed. In quiet, hidden corners of the galaxy, whispers of rebellion grew, inspired by Earth's strength and defiance. Back in Earth's orbit, Federation commanders, realizing the scale of their defeat, began issuing frantic orders to retreat, desperate to salvage what little remained of their once mighty fleet. The few ships still functional fled, broken and battered, their crews demoralized and haunted by the destruction they'd witnessed. Earth's forces held their ground, watching as the remaining fragments of the Federation fleet disappeared into the void, knowing that humanity's message had been sent. Earth's final strike against the Federation fleet was decisive. With their forces fully engaged, Earth's defenses unleashed one last coordinated barrage. Gravitational fields, pulsing energy weapons, and waves of drones tore through the remaining ships, leaving no room for regrouping or escape. The Federation's once mighty armada shattered completely, and the few surviving soldiers had no choice but to surrender or flee into the depths of space. Those who managed to retreat drifted in disbelief, haunted by the loss, and unable to understand how a single planet had achieved such a complete victory. As the dust settled, Earth's leaders sent a clear message to the Galactic Federation. The communication was broadcast across the galaxy, reaching not only the Federation's command, but also its many worlds and species. Earth declared, in no uncertain terms, that humanity would not bow to tyranny. It warned that any further attempts to conquer Earth would be met with an even stronger resistance, and that peace would be the only path forward. The Federation, faced with undeniable defeat, now had a choice: respect Earth's sovereignty or face the consequences of humanity's strength. Across Earth, celebrations erupted. In cities, towns, and remote villages, people came together, united by a shared pride and relief. They celebrated not only their victory, but the resilience and determination that had made it possible. Families reunited, governments commended the bravery of the armed forces, and stories of the battle spread through every corner of society. The entire planet had stood as one against an overwhelming force, and their unity had proven unstoppable. Humanity had faced extinction and won. Yet, amid the joy, there was also reflection. Earth's leaders addressed the people, honoring those who had fought and fallen. They spoke of the sacrifices made, reminding everyone that this victory had come at a great cost. As they celebrated, they also looked ahead, knowing that Earth's new status would come with new challenges. The Federation's defeat would not go unnoticed by other powers, and Earth needed to remain vigilant and prepared for the unknown threats that might arise in the future. Humanity had secured its place, but the galaxy remained vast and unpredictable. The repercussions for the Federation were immediate and profound. With the loss of their largest fleet, their credibility crumbled. Other species, who had long endured under Federation rule, began to question its authority openly. Uprisings broke out on multiple worlds, as oppressed factions saw Earth's victory as a signal that the Federation was not invincible. The once unified Federation found itself strained. Its hold over distant systems weakened as rebellion and resistance spread. Its leaders faced unprecedented chaos as their former allies and subjects demanded change, inspired by Earth's defiance. Earth's victory shifted the balance of power in the galaxy. No longer seen as an obscure, insignificant planet, humanity earned the respect, and in some cases fear, of other civilizations. Earth's new status as a force to be reckoned with brought it into the fold of intergalactic politics, giving humanity a voice on a scale it had never before imagined. Earth's leaders knew that they now bore a responsibility to use this influence wisely. The victory had opened doors to alliances, diplomacy, and trade, and it marked the dawn of a new era. As the galaxy adjusted to this new reality, whispers spread of how Earth had turned the tide, altering the course of history. For humanity, it was not just a triumph, but the beginning of something far greater. They had faced the Federation and prevailed. Now, with their gaze set on the stars, humanity stood ready to embrace the unknown future.